Welcome to a short video giving you an update on Bible Thumping Wingnut and Wrath and Grace Clothing, who just sent me that wonderful t-shirt right there, and also Wrath and Grace Production, who produced a 1-hour track mix called The Reformation. It's on the Bible Thumping Wingnut podcast RSS feed, and here's a little taste of it. Came out October 31st, Reformation Day. He would stand tall because he was empowered by God to see their plans fall like the Twin Towers, but not for a personal victory, but restored the church to its simplicity's historicity. Throughout it all, many lives were lost, but of course gain justified by the cross, and endured pain, trusting God as their source. As they dispute lies to that we pay tribute. If we don't learn from our past, we're headed for days of darkest future. If we don't reform like Martin Luther.
There is only one universal church. Or this: it is not necessary for salvation to be subject to a Roman Pope.
But, Doctor, that is the heart of the heresy. That is exactly what Huss said.
It doesn't matter who said it, it is the truth.
Martin Luther, do you think you are the only one who knows the truth?
I will tell you what I think. I have the right to believe freely, to be a slave to no man's authority, to confess what appears to me to be true, whether it is... Okay, so I want to encourage people to go to the BibleThumpingWingnut.com and listen to that. This is actually the second time I've tried to do this video because I didn't have my headset on, and I had the rap music too loud so people couldn't hear me. So this time I'm going to have the headphones on. So that is the Wrath and Grace Hour. It's the first mix. Jay with Wrath and Grace is going to produce these mixes once bi-weekly, and it's going to be on the Bible Thumping Wingnut podcast feed, so you can check those out. We have now 3 podcasts per week. One is the Google Hangout with Matt Slick, and that comes out Monday morning. And then we have Tim and Len, and we do all kinds of banter and discussion about the Christian faith, and we also interview some folks, and it's basically living and learning and getting and loving our fellow Christians and being encouragement, and folks being encouragement to us. So that's the midweek podcast. And then on Friday evening, actually Friday morning, we have Andrew Rappaport with Striving for Eternity is on our podcast feed as well, with his School of Biblical Hermeneutics. So we have 3 podcasts per week. So we encourage you to check that out. Again, if I didn't say this, I didn't say it this time. But this video right now is primarily for the Christians. It's actually just for the Christians who watch my YouTube video. If you're a skeptic, if you're an atheist, I appreciate you watching, but I'm not going to be addressing you, and I would appreciate if you're polite in the comment section, because this is just for my Christian audience, because I'm going to be talking about Christian things and asking those who agree with me to listen to my podcast and to support us. And in the support aspect, I just wanted to say that we launched a Patreon account for Bible Thumping Wingnut. So the link to that is going to be in the description of this video. If you listen to us, we've been on YouTube for over 3 years, since August of 2012. If you appreciate this ministry, if you've been encouraged, if you've been strengthened as a result of Bible Thumping Wingnut, either podcasts or the YouTube channel, I would ask you to consider supporting us. And the funds that come in through Patreon go for a few things. First, it goes to paying for the podcast. It's about $750 per year. with all the hosting, with Mixler and SoundCloud and Skype calling and all kinds of things, and the website. It's about $750 right now per year. So it'll go to cover those things. Those things are things that Len and I have been already paying for. And then it will go for travel. Next year, 2016, Len and I are going to 3 different conferences. We're going to travel to Northern California. We're going to be in Ohio, and we're going to be in New Jersey. These are happening in April, July, and September. So we have a lot of travel expenses. So the Patreon account will help. Lord willing, it'll pay for all of it. Sorry about that. Isn't that great? That's not real great. This is a wonderful mic that I have that is mounted right on my table here. So sorry about that. So the Patreon account will help pay for our travel. Lord willing, it'll pay for all of it. And those are conferences we're going to be going to. We're going to be taking part in. We're going to be interviewing the speakers for our listeners. And we'll be helping out at these conferences and meeting our listeners as well. So California, Ohio, and New Jersey, details on those will be coming forward. So that's another part that the expenses will be going to, and then finally I'll go for equipment. I have a wonderful new mixer here that somebody donated to the ministry, which I outgrew as soon as it got here, because when I started plugging things in. So we need not only a mixer, we need new computers, because the computers I have, which I always thought they were wonderful, they actually are outdated tremendously and haven't been able to help me with editing. So pretty much with Bible Thumping Wingnut, here's the situation. The funds that come in for Patreon aren't going to help me to work less. I have a great job driving a truck. I drive 50 to 55 hours a week. I work. But the funds that come in will help with paying for the podcast, for travel, for the events that we're going to go to. I've got vacation time saved up. I've got plenty of vacation time. I'm going to use that for these conferences to go out there and meet the folks. And then, but the equipment is really what's going to help me, because not only do I work 55 weeks, I work 55 hours a week. Then I have family and I have duties around the house, and, traveling to go visit my family up north. So I have all that, but if I have better equipment, I'll be able to do Bible Thumping Wingnut with higher quality and faster. Because right now, with the equipment that I have, I kind of limited to what I can do, what I can't do, and what I can do, because my computers are aged. It takes some time. So consider that. Consider helping us out on Patreon. If you can, that's wonderful. If you can't, that's fine. Either way, we appreciate you watching and your encouragement in any way, whether it's financial, prayers, or just notes of encouragement, which we get a lot of those. So I want to tell you about our podcast tomorrow. We're going to do, I think we're going to do a podcast on a Google Hangout. Isaiah Robertson is going to be with us. He is a former Pentecostal preacher, and he is now a Reformed Christian, one who has adopted and come to understand the doctrines of grace. And we're going to talk to him about his transition from being a Pentecostal preacher to being Reformed. And if you want to know more about him, you can go to Isaiah Robertson 2, which is a YouTube channel, and you can see when he used to be a Pentecostal pastor. He used to be like a special speaker. He traveled all around speaking at conferences and things like that. So Isaiah Robertson's going to be on at 6 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday. It's going to be on Mixler and probably be on a Google Hangout. Check out also Wrath and Grace. This is a t-shirt that Jay just sent me. Chapter and verse, please. If somebody comes to us as Christians and says, hey, what you believe is wrong here, or what you're doing here is wrong, you should be doing this, our response can be, hey, show me chapter and verse. Because if you can show me chapter and verse, I need to adjust what I'm doing. I need to adopt what Scripture says. So it's part of the Sola Scriptura. It's chapter and verse. It's one of Jay's feature T-shirts right now. Go to Wrath and Grace. They've been supporting us since the beginning of the podcast, and we love Jay, and we love Wrath and Grace. So he just sent me that. When you get a T-shirt in the mail, you don't just get a T-shirt; you get a whole bunch of stuff. And he sent me a couple DVDs, which I gotta check out. And he also sent me a book. I don't know that he sends everybody a book and DVDs, but I know that he doesn't just send out the T-shirts, because he's always like put additional stuff in there. He also gave me a Reformation Heritage Books catalog. So go to Wrath and Grace, support them. Great Christian wear T-shirts and other things there. So check that out. And then one more thing, Periscope. Christians, a wonderful platform to share your faith is Periscope. It's an app. You can have it on your computer. You can have it on your iPad. You can have it on your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android. You can have Periscope on your device. And make an account and just go live. And basically, when you go live, you are standing on the street corner, and you can proclaim whatever you want to proclaim. And I would encourage you to proclaim Christ. That's how I met Isaiah Robertson. I clicked on one of his Periscope broadcasts, and I broadcast on Periscope as well. Just label your broadcast. Trying to make my mixer stop buzzing. I hear it in my ears. Maybe you do or don't. But Periscope is wonderful. It's a wonderful platform to get the message of Christ out there. You can follow me, Bible Thumping Wingnut, on Periscope. I encourage you to do that. So when you go live on Periscope, Len does it too, and you can have it. You can have lots of more viewers than you have in a Google Hangout. Long term, I think you have more views on a Google Hangout, but on Periscope, the immediate response to people, if you put anything about God or your faith or atheism in the title of your broadcast, you're going to get a big response. So believers show up and non-believers show up, and it's an opportunity to proclaim Christ. So follow me, Bible Thumping Wingnut there. Follow Len. I think his is Potter's Pickers. And there's lots of things going on in Periscope. Another opportunity for us as believers to proclaim Christ. So thank you for watching this short hangout. Not a lot of people here watch this when it was live, but I'm sure scores of people will watch it in the future over the course of the next few weeks. So folks, Christians, if you appreciate the Bible Thumping Wingnut, please consider supporting us on Patreon. It would be a great encouragement and help to us. If not, continue to support us with your viewership and pray for us, and we would be very grateful for that. So until next time, take care, and God bless.